Welcome back, Hive Mind. This is Shalazar with Hive Mind Gaming with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to take a look at the Arcane Keep and how we can run that with a free-to-play account. We're going to go into Dungeons here, and then we're going to come to the Arcane Keep. Now this is going to be open all the time, so you're not going to have to worry about the rotating schedule that these guys are going to be on. If you're playing for the first time and you're still within your 7 days, you probably see all these guys unlocked, but there is a timer at the top that's telling you when they're gonna go offline, and you'll just have one a day opened up. This one will always be open. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna take a look. This is where you're gonna get your potions, for the white potions that have to be used in every recipe, I guess you could call it, to ascend all of your champions. You will need the white potions with every single one of them, no matter what affinity the champion is. Now, it will tell you right here what you have the chance of getting. So you have the chance of getting these or these. So one or the other. Now, if you get a rare proc when you defeat the boss, you could possibly get a mystery shard, an ancient shard, or even a random brew, because this is the white keep. All the other keeps you get the type of brew of the keep that you're in, but for this one you get a random flavored brew, random affinity brew, and then of course silver. So we're going to take a look. We're going to go in here and take a look at this fight here. This is a void boss, so no one's going to be the wrong affinity. Now the minions will all be regular affinity, and as you go up in level of the keep, this will change obviously, and there will be void champions as your champions to beat. We're just going to use A1s just to clear these guys. Kel did a pretty good job of taking down the waves, so we're going to use their better abilities later on once we go over the abilities of the boss. Alright, so we've got like all the keeps, there's a boss and two minions. Now this minion here, when he attacks, he's actually going to remove all your buffs. So like this, where Kel's gear is giving him a shield and her gear is giving her a shield, this guy's just going to pull those right off. If Diabolus gives all your guys the increased speed buff, he's going to rip it right off. So keep that in mind when you're higher levels, or even here at the low levels. It's okay that your buffs are being pulled off. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. This is why we want good resistance. Resistance is always a good stat. I know a lot of people, especially in low level, think that it's a useless stat and don't care. Trust me, guys, it's not useless. This is the things like this is why you need a high resistance, because if you have a high resistance, he uses his accuracy to pull those buffs off, and if his accuracy is not high enough compared to your resistance, he just won't be able to take them off of you. So this is where resistance comes into play. Now this guy, he's going to put a debuff on you. It's a decrease attack debuff. It's going to be a red square with a broken sword. So that's what his job is. Now the boss, yeah, you don't look that tough. Yeah, see, Kale says so too. All right, so his abilities, he's got the almighty immunity that all bosses have, which makes him immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block, cooldown skills, fear, and true fear debuffs, and also immune to HP exchange effects, HP balancing effects, and cooldown increasing effects. Alright, and then he's got the last stand, and it is for 4 turns. And you see that it says the last stand level 1. The higher level you go in this dungeon, the of course the stronger these abilities get. But here at the low level, he's got the last stand level 1, which places a 60% increased defense buff and a 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. So the boss is going to make himself harder to be damaged, and it makes him faster so that he can get more turns than you. And then his attack ability is Wild Slash at level 1, which attacks all enemies, and it inflicts 50% more damage against targets who have no active buffs. So the combination is this guy steals all your buffs, and then the boss comes in and smacks you because you have no buffs on. So that's why you need guys that are fast, and you need guys that are throwing buffs up for this boss. So, and guys, this should be your easiest dungeon. I mean, even at level 20, you should just be able to roll in with any kind of damage dealers, as long as you have the concept of you need a nuker, a damage dealer, or a decreased defense person like War Maiden. Your nuker being like Kale, some kind of tank to help protect your guys, someone who increases your guys' speed like Diabolus, and possibly a healer slash reser to keep your guys alive. So as long as you have that concept with any dungeon you go into, you should be fine. But each dungeon's gonna have its own little quirks and its own little tricks. So a tip for the Arcane dungeon is to have guys that throw up buffs on your characters, which she does with her middle ability here. She hits the boss, and all of your guys get the increased crit. So, and then of course she's got the speed increase, but he's going to get to go here soon. So, he doesn't have anything. He's just got the provoke. I don't know if he's got anything to throw up. And then she doesn't have anything that she puts on you. So these two are the only two that have anything, I believe. So we're just going to see. We're going to increase our speed. No, decrease defense. Oh, she does have an increased attack that she puts on herself. And then, of course, the poison. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Oh, he does. Okay, so he puts increase crit rate and increase attack, but just on nope, all allies. So fantastic. So we're going to hold off on that. So we're just going to attack, because that guy's going to be a punk by stealing all of our stuff. Yep, see? And see, you could see that her, Kel, and War Maiden all have high enough resistance that we resisted him pulling that off. But as you can see, Kale didn't get unscathed, and neither did she. They both had their a buff stolen. Like, he had his shield taken, and she had her crit rate taken. So they have high resist. They have some resist, but not high enough to completely stop him from using his ability. But he did get some stuff taken off. So that's where resist comes in, and is really important. And then this punk here went. What a slimy dirt ball this guy is. Put some decrease attack. I don't think Kel really cares all that much. Oh! And boom goes the dynamite. Thank you, War Maiden, for putting up the decreased defense. We don't care that we got decrease attack. Alright, so we're just going to come through, and we're just going to smack this guy around. Now that we don't have his jerk of a minion. Oh yeah, it's an attack, and then, oh, look how good that ability is. It attacks, does damage, then it makes our guys faster. You can't get any better than that. Well, unless you're Madame Siri. But anyway, we won't get into her. Let's see. And then we're just going to go ahead and keep beating this guy down. A few more hits, and he's probably down for the count. Oh, we probably should have used his. He probably would have been over if he'd have used his A3. But that's all right. Have a seat. Come back next time. We'll have cookies. All right, that's it. That's pretty much it for the potions for the ancient for the arcane keep. Now, keep in mind that it takes 10 to go up to here, and it takes 10 of these, which is 100,000, to get one of these. So, and that's the same for all of these. So keep that in mind when you're doing potions and you're ascending guys, so that you can make sure that your people are getting stronger and leveling up, and make sure you only use these. I mean, eventually, here's the thing, guys. Eventually, you're going to have so many of these little potions that it's not going to matter. But for a free to play account and a beginning account, whether you're free to play or you're spending money, unless you're welling out, unless you're spending a ton of money and just don't care, if you're a beginning player and you're wanting to figure stuff out like I was when I first started, or you're a free to play account where you don't want to spend any money, or if you do, it's just a little bit of money, resources are huge because it just doesn't you just don't have a lot of them. So you don't want to use these without figuring out who you're wanting to use it for. Like this guy, I'll probably never use this guy, and I dumbly used resources to raise two of his stars up, and that's because I was thinking that I was going to use him, and then I remembered that I was going to get her because a reser. He reses, but he's undead faction too, so I might use him. I actually might use him for faction wars until I get someone better for the undead. But I forgot that I had her. I was gonna get her with a sign in, so I stopped. I stopped working with that guy. So yeah. So make sure you're only ascending the ones you know you're going to be playing with, at least for a while. That way, you're not wasting your your resources, because they don't just they're not something that just grows on trees basically. So, but that's pretty much it for the Arcane Keep. If there's anything else, any questions or concerns, or if you have your favorite characters that you take into the Arcane Keep, whether you're a brand new player or you're a experienced player that is at end game, tell us who you use to run the Arcane Keep. Just put it in the comments. Keep an eye out for the videos for the other keeps. We'll be putting those out as they open up, and eventually we'll be doing one on all the dungeons as well. So just keep an eye out. We do appreciate you, and make sure you check out the beginners and free to play guide, that series that I've got going, that catches up with this account here and keeps it going. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Bye.